There are more than 500,000 registered sex offenders in the U.S., 11,000 here in Arizona. And now some states are cracking down, requiring sex offenders to be monitored around the clock. CBS 5 reporter Tammy Leitner traveled to California, where high-risk offenders are tracked high-tech. Tammy?
Kent, at one time, global positioning systems were used only by the military. Then GPS made headlines when Martha Stewart wore an electronic ankle bracelet. Now it's so common people have it in their cars, and some states are using the same satellite technology to track sex offenders 24 hours a day.
I sexually assaulted two 16-year-old males.
His crimes are startling, the type people don't talk about. But this sex offender and many others have a very real problem, controlling the urges that turn them into monsters.
No, I don't believe there's a cure. If sexual deviancy was a sickness, I mean, we'd all have some pills and be taken care of.
This sex offender asked we not use his name or show his face, but wants others to understand the constant battle not to reoffend. We sat in on his therapy session.
What kind of changes have you seen in you since you started treatment?
I've accepted that I have deviant behavior, that I have a deviant desire for young boys.
With these desires buried just under the surface, there must be tools in place to prevent an offender from striking again. So a handful of states have found a high-tech way to monitor high-risk sex offenders.
They're being watched 24 hours a day now where they weren't before.
We traveled to California, where they use GPS tracking devices to monitor their most dangerous paroled sex offenders.
With the technology, we know their location at all times. It's approximately, it's near real time. So agents at any time, day or night, can bring up the Veritrack system.
Parolees must wear the 6-ounce ankle bracelet with rechargeable transmitter around the clock.
You go to bed with it on and it's in your way. When you roll over, it's there. When you wake up and take a shower, it's there. It's always there, and it's huge.
This California sex offender initially found the electronic monitor invasive.
Well, when I first got it, I felt sick to my stomach, and I thought my life was over. What did I do that brought me to this point in my life, that I'm so horrible, that I'm like a dog on a leash?
He would not tell me his crime, but it was severe enough that now he can't travel more than 25 miles from his home, and his parole agent watches his every move.
We can see that this individual was traveling on the freeway towards Sacramento.
Dean Hunter monitors 20 high-risk sex offenders, including the man you just met. He tracks their movements from his laptop, looking for unusual patterns outside of trips to work, counseling, and home. If an offender goes into a forbidden area, a school, park, or other place where there are children, this triggers an automatic alert sending Hunter a page.
If I had an individual that was traveling down this street and then I had a grouping of satellite tracks real close to that school, that's telling me he's lingering near that school, and that's a problem.
A satellite image of that area shows the school. A closer look shows a baseball field. And one more zoom gets you close enough to see bases on the field.
It's extremely valuable. I can't watch them 24/7. This system does.
This offender has come to realize the value of the tracking device.
And I started realizing that this can actually benefit me, because if they try to tell me I went somewhere that I'm not supposed to go, I'll say, please check your records. I didn't go anywhere I wasn't supposed to go, because you have proof.
Only 12 states use GPS to track violent sex offenders. Arizona is not yet on board.
I think that we're probably going to see it.
Therese Wagner believes nothing can replace the importance of in-person visits to sex offenders at home.
Scott? Hey. Hello. Anyone else home with you?
But she also realizes the value of being able to monitor a small segment of Arizona sex offenders.
When I talk to the officers, they all say, yeah, I've got about 3 guys on my caseload that it would be beneficial for. And those are the high-risk guys that they can't quite get a handle on.
And as for the sex offenders, this is just one more tool to help them stay on track. But ultimately, GPS will not prevent them from reoffending. Only they can do that.
It just makes total sense. It is ultimately up to me if I create a new victim or not. I choose not to.
The GPS bill here in Arizona is headed to the Senate. If passed by the legislature, Arizona would spend $750,000 to start the program, meaning sex offenders convicted of dangerous crimes could be wearing GPS units this year.
That seems like a very effective way to track them, but how does this help detectives when new crimes are committed?
Kent, California's system is one of the most advanced systems in the U.S. Now, they're able to use something called crime scene correlation. That means when a crime happens, a child is abducted or a woman is raped, they're able to cross-reference where and when it happened with the GPS system to find out if a sex offender was in the area at the time of the crime. Pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing
very
technology.
effective.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.